What up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles. You're listening to Lyles Movie Files. So, joining me tonight, Jay King. What's up?
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Mr. Lyles? How are you, gentlemen? Another great day, another great week, man. Let's get it cracking.
Indeed. Jace, what's shaking with you, little brother?
What up, bro? Good, man. I think I got some quality entries on this one, so let's get it going.
And Chief, what's up with you, man?
Hey, shout out to my cohorts and henchmen.
A couple days ago, Alec Baldwin was announced as playing the Joker's father in the Joaquin Phoenix standalone. And a few hours ago, he said that he is not in that movie, and 25 other people could just as easily do that role. What do y'all think about this? This is like one of the first times that I can recall where we had a big announcement, and then in no time, the person dropped out. Normally, there's like months or so, and there's some scheduling changes forcing an actor to drop out of a role. But this is all in the course of a week. Chase, what do you think about this? Do you care any more about this Joker movie now that he's not going to be a part of it, or are you kind of bummed out that he's not going to be in it?
I'm really hoping that Warner Brothers / DC decides not to make this movie. A Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix. If you want to have him be the new Joker, that's fine. And that's kind of your back channel way to get him as the new Joker. That's fine, but Alec Baldwin, he's got other things he can be doing. I think I kind of have to agree with him. It's like, not even knowing the role, it's like, there's plenty of people who can play that role. I'm sure it's going to be some abusive character, man. That doesn't bum me out. I'm still just hoping they just decide to scrap the whole movie.
Here's the thing about it. Even if you watch this Joker movie, what's the sense that they're really going to actually give you the Joker's true origin? Or they're just going to tempt you into sitting that seat? For years now, there's been speculation on how he came about, what he used to do. I've seen 100 different scenarios with the Joker. Is this the movie now that's actually going to say, this is exactly how the Joker came to be? There's a Joker on Gotham. There's 100 billion Jokers out there. Who's to say this one movie? Yeah, and that's gonna then when that pisses you off, you go to see the origin, and there's really no origin. So
right,
yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, so it's not exciting. They can go either way. You want to surprise me? Put Tracy Morgan in the role.
We're getting a movie about a Looney Tunes character. I've said that much. Now I want to take a poll to see, of the Looney Tunes characters, hypothetically, which one would you be the most interested in seeing in a movie?
It's Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, all them dudes, right?
That crew, yep.
I like most to see in a movie. Foghorn Leghorn. I don't know.
You laugh.
That was mine.
That dude's funny.
Yeah, I say, boy.
Exactly.
Yeah, he is funny. So I don't know. That's who I can think of off the top.
But that is a solid choice. Javon, you got one?
Outside of Foghorn, my man has always been Elmer Fudd, because he's dope. It's not like a good dope. Between Elmer Fudd and Foghorn. Because Foghorn was hilarious, man. And the little chicken hawk, what's his name?
Yeah.
I'm going to catch me a chicken. I would watch him fighting with Foghorn Leghorn for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those my two guys right there.
Jace?
All right. Since you guys went with a good one, I'm going to go with Daffy Duck. Daffy Duck is always hostile. You can make a good half hour to 45-minute movie on him. I think good chance.
All right. Well, I think I would actually see movies of all those that you guys mentioned, but Warner Brothers is going with a Wile E. Coyote movie.
How did I know it?
Upcoming film Coyote versus Acme.
As much as Acme has screwed over Wile E. Coyote, I think it is time for him to get some justice. So yeah, I'm there.
Okay. See? So y'all didn't think that was a bad idea. Good deal.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna come up with something really dumb. It was like you just had the long setup. Like, no, you're all wrong.
I just was putting you guys, just seeing what you guys thought. That was all.
Okay.
All right, now because we can't go a week without a remake, we got another one coming. Who among us finally remembers Dirty Rotten Scoundrels?
With Michael Caine and what's his face? Well, John Cleese and Steve Martin, right?
Yes, sir.
That was the
Steve
last
Martin, Michael Caine, and Glenn Headley. Yes.
Headley. Okay, I thought John Cleese was in there for some reason.
No, just Caine and Martin.
Okay, so who's
And
gonna be?
Emperor Palpatine.
Oh yeah. So who's gonna be in it?
Well, I mean, you know, so who do you think in a 2019 film would headline this movie?
Oh, what's his face? What's
Steve
up?
Carroll.
Nope.
Ed Helms.
Jonah. What's his face?
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Really? You need an English guy. Russell Brand.
You're actually trying to cast correctly. Come on.
Right.
Like, what is wrong with you? Go with Hollywood casting. You know, like,
My bad.
All right. Let me give you guys a clue.
Go for it.
Let's follow the recent Hollywood trend. You tapped out, I can tell. All right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson.
I mean, look, I'm not groaning because they're women. I'm just groaning because that seems like there's going to be zero chemistry between those two.
Anna Kendrick actually has like been in movies with her.
Yeah,
dude. Rebel Wilson does nothing for me with movies. She's not funny.
Neither does Anna. Anna Kendrick always has RBF. I'm sorry. Always. She just looks like the meanest woman in your office, like the chick that nobody invites to lunch. You just walk right past her. She looks like she's always cold. But
she's actually funny. She's very likable in her movies.
All right. Okay.
Rebel Wilson.
She's a tryhard.
I mean, seriously, like, as much as I guess we talked about Melissa McCarthy.
That's who I would rather have seen in that movie.
Yeah. It's just like, man, just stop. I mean, it's almost like with her, it's like her weight is the butt of the joke. But it's like, we're not going to say it's the butt of the joke. But really, the only reason she's in this, doing something stupid like this, is because of her weight. It's like,
I'm sorry, Jay.
I mean, it's to me, it's like the new age body shaming with her. It's like, haha. I mean, see, you're falling down because you're fat. Haha.
I don't like wasting people like that with fatty fall down, go boom. Because Melissa McCarthy's a good chunk of her career since she's been on the scene, I guess, since mainstream audiences have known about her. Since Bridesmaids 2011. The bulk of her movies have been fatty fall down, go boom, and that's a total waste of her talent. How about Rose Byrne and I don't know Kristen Wiig or what's my girl name? Kate McKinnon. How about that? They're both funny.
Yeah, I feel like the casting on this one's off, but Hathaway is funny. She was probably easily the best part of Ocean's 8 for me.
Okay.
She was funny, and she's done comedy a lot back in her early days.
I thought Bridesmaid was the one, not that Bridesmaids that kind of lacks. What was the one with her and Kate Hudson?
Bride Wars.
Yeah. Bride Wars actually put my quote on the back of the box. It was exciting.
To be honest, I didn't see the last one. I don't even remember seeing the last one. So this one has no interest for me either. So I'll keep my dirty rotten money in my dirty rotten pocket.
Let's see. A couple of days ago, Louis C.K. returned after being off the main spotlight after these allegations came out. Well, I guess they're not so much allegations since he said it was true. But he performed a comedy set, and it seemed like half the comedic world and regular world were torn and divided over their thoughts on it. Some people, like Michael Shea, were like, hey, the dude's just getting back on with his life. Other people like Kathy Griffin are like, it's so messed up that in the White Boys Club, you can just resume your normal life after you do something shady and terrible. Where are you guys on this one? Jace, let's start with you.
I'm sorry. Kathy Griffin has something to say. Magically, she's never been drummed out of the club for some of the crap that's come out of her mouth, but
she has.
And yet we heard what she says, so she's obviously back in the club.
She tweeted about it. She didn't do anything on something else about it.
But just the fact that she's able to tweet and it garners some kind of response.
Yeah, like if it was just Kathy Griffin talking in the wind, like you I'm sure you don't follow her on Twitter, but it's one of those somebody else said, this is a tweet to care about. But
I am, because it's ridiculous. Okay, in my opinion, how much time is enough time? And okay, let's cut to the brass tacks. Louis masturbated in front of women, and he used his position, right? As a guy in a position to do things in Hollywood, he used his position, and that's never okay. But how much time is ever enough time? How much time is ever enough time? If he would have waited 6 months, a year, 2 years, 6 years, somebody would still come out and say, well, it's me me too soon. It's like, look, hashtag culture, internet culture. I'm like Bill Burr. I miss when there was due process. I miss when we took things into consideration and say, okay, not saying that what he did wasn't so bad, but okay, in the grand scheme of things, didn't the president just come? Wasn't there a video, audio of the president saying that he just grabbed women by the vagina and it's okay if you're famous, they just let you do it? I mean, not for nothing, the guy's a president. And that's just what we heard. That's just what we heard. Louis C.K. is the least of our concerns today. And for everybody who's up in arms because he did an unannounced set at the Comedy Cellar on a Sunday night, if that's what's getting your goat, then you really need to reprioritize everything in your life. There's a lot more going on than Louis C.K. doing an unannounced set in the Comedy Cellar in New York City. That's not a big deal, okay? I wish that we took things for a grain of salt and moved on with our own lives and said, okay, yeah, that stinks, but let's not try to make this guy to be the devil in the flesh, because that what he did it's not cool, but look, it's not the end of the world here. Let him resume his life, okay? It's not going to make you feel any better, person tweeting. And let's be honest, Kathy Griffin is just doing whatever she can do to stay relevant. Who cares what people like her have to say? But all of these people, these offended police, the offense police, it's not going to make you feel any better if Louis C.K. does stand up today or took another 6 years off to come back and try to put the pieces of his career back together. It's not going to hurt you any. It's not going to make you feel any better. So what's your real outrage at the end of the day? And as I always say, let's start picking. If you're going to be on the Uber offended train, let's start picking our sacred cows a little better.
He was ostracized, humiliated, and I guess at some point in time, I mean, you gotta come out and try to earn a living again, right? I never understood people who were like, well, I can't believe you're letting them do this again or do that. Well, that's what they do. Like, are they not supposed to ever come and work again? Is he supposed to be Louis C.K. the janitor? Louis C.K. your car mechanic? I mean, what do they? I mean, you have, instead of bitching about it, don't go see him. Whenever something offends me, I always say it was my money. So if I don't like a product or someone who makes the product, so on and so forth. Like, for example, I used to love me some Mel Gibson. I don't go see Mel Gibson anything. If he's in a movie, I don't go see that movie. And that's me. So to me, I say with my money, rather than keep complaining about every time a Mel Gibson movie comes out. You know, I don't go see it. I was one of the people who liked Papa John's pizza. You know, I used to love the little garlic, and I'd eat it to the crust and then dip the crust into the garlic. You know what I say now? I say it with my money. I don't buy Papa John's. You know, I don't buy Elvis records. So, you know, these are the things, you know, I wanted to get the Seinfeld memorabilia thing, you know, the collection. I enjoyed Seinfeld, but I never bought it. So I said all that to say, if something offends you or you don't like a person or whatever, say it with your money. You don't have to, I mean, nobody cares what you say. Oh, well, I don't want to, who cares? The guy has to go out, earn a living no matter what. So if he's your car mechanic now, don't take your car to him. If he's the comedian performing down at the Laugh Factory that night, guess what? Don't go. You know?
I think in this case, he was a surprise guest. So it wasn't even like they
knew
to be there.
Well, Jeff, let me tell you something. I've been at a comedy show, and I don't like Mike Epps. I don't think he's funny. Now, you guys may like Mike Epps, right? But the minute Mike Epps comes on stage, like if I go see a Mike Epps where Mike Epps is the headliner, the minute he goes on stage, I walk out. So, you know, right in the middle, as soon as Mike Epps coming to the stage, you ready? And we're gone. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to sit through, you know, a half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour of unfunniness to me. And some people love Mike Epps, and that's okay too. But what I'm saying is, if somebody got on, for example, you're sitting there and you're wherever listening to people have speech. You're at a Black Caucus event or something, and you're listening to black men come up and speak, right? And then at the end of that event, Donald Trump is the guest speaker you didn't know about, right?
Right.
You're sitting through that, or would you get up and say, he's got nothing I want to hear?
You get up and leave.
So no matter if he's the surprise person or not, right? If you don't like him, you are free to get up and leave. And you say that, and those actions, if he sees you getting up and going through the audience, it's only 200 people were there at the time, he can, listen, if 200 people are there, and then by the time he finishes his set, 50 people are there, he notices that. So instead of getting mad, say it with your actions, say it with your money. So, here coming to the look, you know, back in return, nah, I don't support this. And you go. Simple as that. Mm-hmm. You say, you know what I mean? And that's how you do it. That's how you say it.
You know, Chief, I think we're in a time where this is where social media becomes a bad thing. And I always speak to this. It makes for some really narcissistic people. And even in this, even in everybody's backlash or outrage against Louis C.K. trying to resume his life and career, the narcissism of people thinking that he doesn't have the right to do that. It's like, well, why? Explain to me why you think he doesn't have the right to do this. And if all you can give me is a bunch of rhetoric and hashtags, things that other people have said more eloquently than you, then you really don't have a platform. You don't have anything to stand on. And that's all I've been hearing from the tweets that I've read from people commenting and weighing in on, from like people like Kathy Griffin, and even just social commentary people who just comment on everything that's happening in the day. They don't have a real eloquent argument as to why they feel that Louis should be not allowed to resume his life and career. Because for what it's worth, if they were faced with the same issue or something similar, all they would want is an objective ear and somebody to give them a chance to resume their life. I don't prescribe to any of that. Social media gives these idiots a chance to be heard by other idiots who agree with them just because they see their tweet.
So I was listening to a movie this past week, and, you know, it's kind of a rare thing, but I started like humming the songs when I wasn't watching a movie, and then I just went on to YouTube and just listened to the soundtrack because the songs were that good. I'll tell you that movie later. I want to get your thoughts, fellas, in terms of what kind of movies have those kind of soundtracks where it's just like, man, the soundtrack was good, it made the movie even better. I'm still thinking about the movie because I'm thinking about the songs, I'm listening to the songs. What were some of those classic soundtracks for you? Chief, let's start with you.
I'm a soundtrack guy. So some of these you may not be with me on. Pretty Woman was an awesome soundtrack. It had King of Wishful Thinking. It had Roxette, Must Have Been Love. Great soundtrack.
Hey, Chief, I'm sorry. I was just listening to King of Wishful Thinking today. Go ahead.
Hey, that's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Let me go Above the Rim soundtrack. I still listen to the Menace soundtrack. Waiting to Exhale was another good soundtrack. There have been so many good soundtracks. The Five Heartbeats. And I know nights like this, you know. There's some amazing soundtracks out there.
Oh yeah, all those
that you could just really get down and groove to, man. And those are just a few, like those 4 or 5 right there, like a few of my favorite soundtracks that I can just put on. There's a song in there, and I can just vibe to, man.
All right, Chief, you are hypothetically crashing. You've crashed. You're on an island. You can only take one of those soundtracks out. Which one are you keeping?
I'm gonna have to might have to go with that Above the Rim soundtrack that I named, just because I'm angry and I'm gonna need to be motivated to. Because I mean, you know what I mean? I'm by myself. I don't want to hear about love.
True.
You know, I want to be hyped. I want to be, you know what I mean? How many of you guys work out the love song? Lay a whisper on my pillow. You're not working out to that. But Dog Pound for Life, I just don't give a. You come on, you in that gym, whatever you're doing, man. So yeah, I gotta go with like that Above the Rim soundtrack, man. That soundtrack was just, to me, was one of the greatest ones that came out.
What were some of those songs on there for people who may not know about that one?
Oh my God.
Pour Out a Little Liquor. Dog Pound for Life. What's that? Come Up to My Room? Was that? With Daddy Boy. Yeah. Daddy Boy, right?
That was on Murder Was the Case.
Oh, that was on If You
was it Murder?
No.
Okay, so that was another great album. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Was it a Rage song? Hold on.
Wasn't it?
Okay, you got Rage, Afro Puffs,
Big Pimpin',
Regulate,
Big Pimpin',
Warren G and Nate Dogg.
Yes, sir.
Right, Regulate. Damn, you guys see, you guys.
SWV.
SWV.
Yeah, man. Like I said, that soundtrack, man, was Part-Time Lover, H-Town.
I
don't even know if y'all don't know.
Yeah, it was. Right. Yeah, I was like,
hey, if you don't mind. Yeah,
CPO, Boss Hog.
Yeah, that's like what I can think of off the top. I know Aaron Hall was on there.
What Aaron Hall was on there?
That Don't Be Afraid?
Him and Jewel did a joint.
The song Gonna Give It To You. It probably would not make anybody's slow jams list, but it was on there. It wasn't bad.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, none of the songs didn't mean to turn you. None of the songs to me didn't mean to turn you. None of the songs to me was bad songs. Like you could probably put that on and just let it bump out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, they were all pretty decent.
Yeah, if you're on a deserted island, you could let the CD ride. Like, all right, I don't hate this song that much. So
right, I can listen to this.
You know, didn't Celine Dion do the whole Titanic soundtrack?
Well, there was some classical. It was classical arrangements, but she had the
iconic song.
The iconic song, right, Jace?
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, man, Did y'all like that Dog Pound joint?
Which one?
Yeah, man, I was big Death Row dude.
I haven't. It's like the reason I was able to remember the songs is I literally just pulled it up on my iTunes. Like, yeah.
What Dog Pound joint? The song or
Above the Rim? I mean, I'm talking about the Above the Rim soundtrack. That's what I meant to say. But I mean, did you guys enjoy the Above the Rim? Did you guys enjoy the Menace soundtrack too?
Of course. Hey, Top of the World.
Okay.
every summer,
Spice one.
I get the car washed. Hey, a trigger guy, you know what, got no heart. Hey, every summer when I get the car washed and it's clean, you think I ain't riding through the park looking like Kane when he first he jacked them Dayton's off that fool and threw it on that 5-0? This in the top of the world. You think I ain't cranking my fist like I'm bossing out here? Yeah, of course. That was my soundtrack, man.
That scene used to get me every time because he gets in the car, he's jacking the dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'll take a double burger with cheese. So the girl comes on, she's like, can I have your order? And he's like, I'll have a double burger, some fries. And he said, I said with cheese. But my thing was, how many times have you been getting jacked and then start ordering food for yourself while you're getting jacked? Like, he didn't ask for fries. My order would have been a double burger with cheese, and that's it. You want anything else? No, I'm good.
I'm good.
He was ordering a meal. He was like, let me get some fries. I was like, you're getting robbed, dude.
Hey, he getting robbed and he gonna get a nice meal for it. Hey, what cracks me up the most about that is the after scene where he's counting the money and when dude go and he's like, yeah, I saw some food slipping at the light. I had to get him. Like it was a must. Like you saw $50 sitting on the ground and you just had to pick it up. That always killed me. That always killed me about that.
Jace, how about you? What you got?
All right, I'm gonna go. This is gonna go all over the place, so I'm gonna have a little bit of fun. So if you're on a nice summer day, got your nice linen on, car's looking good, traffic is breezy and easy, one of my suggestions would be the Ocean's 12 soundtrack. You might go about 150 miles an hour at one point, but that's okay. It's a nice breezy day. You're gonna really enjoy it. Like the scene with Catherine Zeta and Brad Pitt. You're gonna be zoning out to that when it gets nighttime. You'll feel real good. Next one, I'm gonna go with Transformers the movie, and I mean Transformers the movie, not anything that's been live action. But if you can't get hype when you hear "You Got the Touch," I mean, I just don't think you're alive. Next one, I'm gonna go with my twofer, Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Those two I can let just run through. I mean, like if I'm at work, I can literally just put those two on and just zone out to the day. And I'll be like, wow, this is so much better than actually being at work. Oh, wait, I am at work, but I'm seeing those two movies in my head. So it's a good day. Next one is Cruel Intentions. I actually used to work. This was another one of the CDs I used to work out to. And yes, I did CDs, meaning I am ancient. But yeah, me and my office mates used to listen to the CD and just literally like, yeah, okay, that was cool. All right, yeah. We knew at least a good hour and a half had gone by, and we were in a better place for it. And then I think I'm gonna go with my last one is gonna be the Love Jones soundtrack. That's another good CD. Really, there was that like a nice mellow vibe, like especially like come in the next couple months, come fall, put your sweater weather on, put that on at the end of the night. I think you should have a very good end of the night. So that's my list. Yeah.
All right. Your bag of music is sinking to the ocean. Which
no.
One? You've been trying
yeah. Ocean's 11 is going to be way too breezy for me, so I got to let that one roll. So I'm going to have to go with Revenge of the Sith because Anakin versus Obi-Wan should actually get me motivated enough to figure out how I'm going to get to the next island. And I don't know how my batteries are working and how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to need a little extra motivation, so having the instruments on that one kind of getting me going, that'll work.
You're gonna miss. You're not gonna grab a Rodimus Prime. You got the touch. You got the power.
You're a winner.
Man, that is my joy. Man, I'm about to turn that thing on.
Hey, I love that cheesy synth at the beginning. That
I can't even call that cheesy. That soundtrack's amazing.
Awesome. I'm sorry. You gotta say cheesy. I say awesome.
Hey, that muted cheesy synth at the beginning, you have to love it because it cues it up, man. It cues it up. It's not cool. It's so 80s cheese that you have to love it.
You gotta love it. You can't hope otherwise but to love it. Javon, what you got?
Oh, bro. I think I got some winners, and I'm an 80s 90s baby, so we're gonna do this. The Juice soundtrack. Juice soundtrack was like that between Aaron Hall. Nobody begged for a piece like Aaron Hall, and nobody had the rapiest songs. Well, Keith Sweat, but Aaron Hall, Don't Be Afraid is one of the rapiest songs ever, and in the Me Too era, you can't even play it right now.
Anything by R. Kelly is pretty rapey now.
I don't know, Jason. You can yell, but you can hit me. It's just making me more horny. That's a line from the song. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, baby. Come on.
Now, is that out of how many? I mean, that Aaron Hall album was actually the first CD I bought. So there was 10 versions of Don't Be Afraid on there.
Yeah, that was the album, and I Miss You. That and I Miss You was like 3/4 of the album. All right, so Juice, Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice. Hey, both of those movies gave us both really good Tony songs. I love Tony. Jason's Lyric was an underrated soundtrack. Higher Learning was definitely an underrated soundtrack. I love the Higher Learning soundtrack. Another underrated soundtrack was the Into Deep soundtrack. I loved Love Jones, of course. That was a great one. Thanks, Jace. There's a few others. Don't Be a Menace had a pretty good soundtrack, but it was a pretty decent one. But Into Deep was dope. The Corruptor soundtrack. I don't know if anybody remembers the Corruptor, the movie. But that was Marky Mark and what's his name, Chow Yun Fat. And they had a really good soundtrack for that movie. It was all hip hop, of course, with like the sprinkled in rock song here and there from like Korn and somebody else, I think. But that was a really good soundtrack. Belly, and I'm not just naming all these movies, but they had really good soundtracks. And that was back in an era where you couldn't sell an urban film if you couldn't sell the urban film soundtrack. You really couldn't. Like, all right. A lot. Yeah. Okay.
What's your one you're taking with you?
Wow. The one I'm taking with me. Mm-hmm. If I had to pick any one, it's going to be Higher Learning, just because I can listen to Michelle and Dago cello, and that's a gem. Soul Searching. Don't nobody hold me. Don't nobody kiss me. I can listen to that song every day for the rest of my life.
I was going to say, you're going to be on a deserted island by yourself listening to that song.
Yeah, so that means I'm going to have a lot of alone time pleasuring myself. So it's going to be don't nobody hold me. Don't nobody kiss me. Yeah, you deal with that. You can deal with that as you want. But I'm being honest with myself. That's what I do. So yeah, Higher Learning.
Wow. Okay. Good deal.
Yeah, you can act like you can act like you're immune to that, Jeff. Yeah.
I'm just trying to act like I'm immune from hearing you say that.
Yeah, you can act like that. You're on a desert island by yourself. Yeah. You control your urges all you want.
Watch the coconuts, buddy. Sometimes they're pine cones.
Yeah, I'm going to find a way to get intimate with them both. I'm on a desert island by myself.
Yeah, there's a reason why we let you go last a lot of these times. Yeah. All right, so for mine, it's kind of cool because we didn't have much overlap. But my choices were the Purple Rain soundtrack because that's just, playthrough of all playthroughs. Great Gatsby. That one is an amazing soundtrack, and it really makes the 3D experience pop even more. The Bodyguard, Whitney Houston at her prime peak in her career, Her voice is still magic at that point. The Kill Bill Volume 2 soundtrack. I hated that movie compared to as much as I love the first one, but the sequel, Volume 2, has a far superior soundtrack. And I got to give it up for the New Jack City soundtrack because that was amazing. New Jack Hustler. Yeah, man. Yeah. That soundtrack.
Other than New Jack Hustler, of course, Color Me Bad and the Johnny Gill song, I'm Still Waiting.
Who was that, Levert?
I could take it or leave it.
Man, yeah.
The Levert with Troop and Queen Latifah, that was all right. Even the guy joint, the New Jack, no, you're right, Jeff. That was decent. That was a good soundtrack. That was a good soundtrack.
Then going old school. No, I'm sorry. I'll say those two for last. Two more. Most recent one, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That soundtrack really plays into everything that's going on in the movie, and I love when that happens. And the lyrics and the song choices are really smart for how the movie plays out. Next up, Boomerang. That was one of my first soundtrack loves. That one was a killer playthrough soundtrack. I mean, man, every song on that one was a winner. Introduced us to Tony Braxton. I mean, it was just, great.
There you go, Johnny Gill. Oh, man.
There you go.
Yeah.
Die Without You by PM Dawn.
Yeah.
Love Should Have Brought
Everything
You
with that one. Yeah.
Dude, what was the song they played during the making love scene?
Sex on the Platters on that, too.
Yeah, that's one there. But what was the song they played with the Ooh, It's So Sweet? Like,
G-Love and the Special Sauce, I think it is.
I don't know.
Kenny Vaughn and the Art of Love.
Art of Love. Something like that.
Oh, okay.
You know which one I forgot to put on my list? It had one of the best, like, slow jams, like love-making slow jams ever. Y'all remember Mo Money soundtrack, Johnny Gill, Let's Just Run Away?
Yo, Johnny Gill was coming up with major hits on the soundtracks,
man.
He's killing that game.
Killing the soundtracks.
Like, tonight is right. This thing is awesome.
It's
Which
awesome.
one? The Boomerang?
Boomerang.
Yeah.
Anybody think about Batman? I mean, the Dark Knight Rises?
No, nah. I mean, the Batman one, the Prince version would be great. Let me finish mine first. All right, so my last two are Flash Gordon, because just like Transformers, it's a perfect example of all the glory of 80s soundtracks rolled up into one soundtrack. And then my final choice, The Muppet Movie, because I love that soundtrack and I will not apologize for it. Let's see. So the one that I would take on, the one that I would listen to the whole time while I was waiting on rescue on a desert island. So many. I think I'm gonna go with The Muppet Movie. Just to be that guy. Moving right along as I'm going up the hills and the valleys. Rainbow Connection after a big torrential rainstorm and the rainbow pops up. And the one with Ralph, Women You Can't Live With Them. I mean, there's so many songs that apply to life on a desert island. Muppet Movie would be my choice.
Hey, you mentioned Purple Rain, and total omission on my part, because that's another one. How can you not have Purple Rain?
So good. Yeah.
Come on, man. Not have. You know what was another good soundtrack? Prince did what? 3 movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
The soundtrack for Batman, of course. Well, that's 4. But Under the Cherry Moon wasn't a bad soundtrack at all.
Yeah, I think that was one of the better ones.
That was one of the better ones. And Graffiti Bridge was pretty decent.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like it, but it holds up surprisingly well to me.
Yeah. So I guess right now it's that special magical time of the week. Who's your dummies of the week, gentlemen?
Probably the disrespect your man had for McCain. Even in death, the dude would let go of a grievance. And it's kind of one of them things, man. It just shows you, like what we're dealing with, man, and this new administration. It's half the people are screaming that these football players have no respect for your country, this, that, and the third. And then on the other hand, loving the dude who disrespects, a war hero of the country. I don't know how to explain the two.
You really can't. Because his supporters, if you notice, they've been radio silent on his defense, of a defense for him. They've been radio silent.
Jace?
I'm going since I've only watched a little bit of TV. I'm gonna go with the French Open judges for saying Serena can't wear her outfit because it shows off. I don't know what the bullcrap excuse they had. It was too sexy, too tight. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't feminine. Whatever the heck. I mean, it's just once again what it is. Like, you're better than the people you're playing against, so we're gonna try and come up with some other way to get you off the court. So, those are definitely my dummy of the week.
Nicki Minaj, shut up, stupid. You got the number 2 album in the country. Be happy with that. Oh, she went on this Twitter rampage about everybody, and I don't know. It's just random stupidity from a silly person. It's like, look, I don't know her to call her stupid. She's obviously not a stupid girl, but you're silly. You're 35 years old. You got the number 2 album in the country. You've got a solid career behind you, even though you haven't said anything worth saying and you're a carbon copy of Lil' Kim. When is enough? When is enough for people? It's like, I don't have the number 1 album in the country, so I'm mad. Well, you're not as popular as Ariana Grande. You had a nice window, and your window's starting to close. I mean, it's okay. There are a lot of people in that industry who don't have a smidge of the success that you've had and are even enjoying right now. And that whole, like, it feels like to me she's threatened by any other female rapper. Like that whole thing with Cardi B, and I don't really pay attention to that stuff, but every time she talks about or tries to throw side-eye shade at the girl, it's like, really, why? Nobody mentioned you in that. It's get over yourself. Just enjoy your success. Focus on that, your success. You're eating real good. Stop. You don't need to take all the food. You know what I mean? You don't need to have all the food. You're eating plenty. You're fine.
I'm torn with my choices because they both involve 2 morons who don't understand their position. So Kanye apologized for his slavery remarks, and he tried to blame it on his lack of taking his bipolar medicine, which is a cop-out and just whack. Come on, dude. I mean, seriously, that was your excuse. He pulled the Roseanne. Only he's attributing to not taking his medicine. And he's still trying to support Trump and going, hey, man, he just wants to be loved by black people. Oh, come on, dude.
Stop being a dickhead.
Yeah. And then your boy Tiger Woods, because everyone gets so excited when he does moderately well. He had an opportunity to talk about Trump, and surprisingly, or not so surprisingly, he didn't want to say anything about it at all. And he didn't want to say anything outside of you have to respect the office.
Of course.
Decided to ignore any questions, prompting him any further about the immigration and all the other incendiary remarks that old boy's made since he's been in the office. So he's happy to be on the side with Kanye. He also needs to cut his hair because it's long since left him, just like his wife.
Ooh, cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded. Yeah. But,
yeah. I mean, once he said he wasn't black,
yeah, exactly.
That's pretty much
done with you.
That pretty much did it for me. So the minute the day he was like, I'm not black, I was like, oh, well, then.
Kaplan Nation.
Done with you.
Mean nothing to me no more.
You giant-toothed loser. Get hit in the head with another golf club while you're driving your stupid SUV down the street running from your wife because she caught you cheating with 50 strippers, you doofus.
Hello.
You got $1 billion and you can't get nobody else to hold your phone?
You doofus. You deserve it. Get hit in the head with another 9-eye.
I got a secret phone in my car.
You guys have convinced me. I'm going to give Tiger this week's Dummy of the Week. Just for his long-standing history of being a dummy. Congratulations, Tiger. You're probably the only dude who Tiger Woo could surpass Kanye this week, but you did it. You may not be a winner in golf anymore, but you're a winner here.
Hey, Jeff, I don't know. We need to keep Kanye there because them little his miniature slide-ons. Have you seen the pictures of those?
Oh, that was a couple weeks back. I forgot to get them.
Oh my goodness, man.
That was just a poor fashion choice.
That's his clothes, though. That's from his homeless line. from his poverty line. From the poverty line. Oh my goodness.
He had to wear clothes before he got on the rock, okay?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Staying humble.
He's wearing these now. Too bad.
They predicted these clothes though in the first Derek Zoolander. But
they really did. They really did. What was his name? Will Ferrell, Mafupu, Musa, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. His derelict collection.
Yeah. We're gonna complete this show, fellas. Thanks for coming in as always. Thank y'all out there for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show. This episode of Lyles Movie Files has been filed.